Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Broken Chains podcast. I'd like to thank everybody for taking their time to come in and spend some time with us today. I want to do a little special treat. I think this one's more for me than for everybody else. I've been following this sister since she was on here last. And I have to say, I am so prolifically ecstatic with how she walks her recovery. And I just wanted to do a quick check-in, see how her recovery walk is going, troubles she might have had to deal with and overcome, and hopefully she might have some questions for me. So again, let me welcome my sister, Miss Barbara Miller.
Hello,
How you
hello.
doing, Miss?
I'm great.
Hold on, let me see if it works this time.
Mhm.
It's
Yes, it
working. So once again, I have to say thank you, sis, for taking out time and opportunity out of your really busy schedule. Because
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people in recovery that do a lot of things and say they do a lot of things, but I mean, like, sis, you were on it. You're active on your social media. You engage on your social media. You inspire people. I mean, you're like really transparent. And for somebody who's been doing this for a bit of a while now, I just want to say,
Right.
namaste. I'm really proud of you. So, how have you been?
Thank you so much. Well, there's been some struggles, of course. I am
Absolutely.
104 days sober today.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did
Um,
it again. How many
but
days
there was,
sober?
huh?
How many days sober again?
104.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. We're gonna keep it going. I am so
Um,
immensely proud of you.
so I want to kind of talk about uh, challenges that I've come across along the way.
Okay.
Like, they say 90 days is the hardest. Your first 90 days is the hardest. But what they
Okay.
don't tell you is the challenges that you're going to be up against after that 90 days.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So when I was 85 days sober, I was struggling very bad. Very bad.
Okay.
I was sitting in my car and, I have surgery coming up. And honestly, I have one person here to support me, like physically.
Okay.
And I was on social media and I said, fuck it. Like, I got a case of the fuck it.
Okay.
I said, I'm thinking to myself, what's the point? What's the point? I have an incurable blood cancer that is ultimately going to win. I will never see my kids ever again. And before anybody judges, I want to make this clear that it is not because they were taken away from me for being an addict. I unfortunately lost both of them in 2 separate car accidents in 2020.
Mhm.
I'm still homeless. So what's the point? And then I thought from the other side is I have all these people that are here who could be supporting me,
Mhm.
and they're expecting me to fail. Because if I fail, they have something more to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm succeeding, they have nothing to talk about.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So it's kind of frustrating, because like when I was in active addiction and I was dealing, like, I never had to worry about a roof over my head. I always had someplace to stay, like, I just, things were so different when you're the dealer, or
Oh
you have a
yeah.
lot of fake friends.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It'll make a roof. It'll provide a roof for you when it needs to. Yeah, I
Absolutely.
fully understand that. I understand that concept. So,
You know, I have filled out 39 rental applications. Out of those 39 rental applications, I have only been approved by 2.
yeah,
It's
the
tough.
struggle is the struggle is real. You know, if I may,
And of
real
course,
quick.
the state of Vermont here, I think, has it a little backwards. I think they enabled the addicts by giving them free needle exchanges, by giving them free Narcan, by giving them a free roof over their head, you know, with a hotel, that they're not forcing them to get better.
Right.
To where someone in my situation, now I'm fighting every day to live, you know. Yes, I'm in the hotel now, but I only have 37 days left after this voucher's up.
Right.
That'll cut right into the time that I'm supposed to have surgery. So now the worry is, and I'm so worried that everything's going to overwhelm me. And I'm trying to mentally prepare myself not to relapse. But it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. There's this saying we have called "the struggle is real," and
Yes.
here's the reason why I say, like, hold on real quick, my kids. Hey, it's just filming. Leave him alone. My little fur babies, I swear they bark at their own shadows. But you know, and this is me looking at from both sides of the fence, because with my job now, I
Right.
get to work with law enforcement, but I also get to work with people in recovery and in mental health. And here's one of the struggles that I had is, and this is just on me and Ma. I'm not trying to tell, like,
Right.
put my picket on either side of the fence. I'm just looking at it from the hot air balloon up in the air.
Right.
When I was first in recovery, I was blessed because I got to graduate a program that was literally designed to help a person in recovery succeed. Not say, okay, here's a voucher, here's what's named, go to treatment, and then we've done our part.
Yeah.
So luckily, and I don't know this, I'm just going to speak from my point of view because I've lived in Texas, I've lived in Oklahoma, I've been in Louisiana, I've been in New York, you know, I've been a lot of places. Here in Arkansas, the recovery and how we do things is a little different because a lot of the people in the recovery field, are people with lived experience. So a lot of the things that we're pushing is based off what we know. Like I work in a program that is so amazing now that
amazing.
You're in a detention facility and you have 12 weeks to work on you. And I'm talking about everything from mental health through emotional understanding, conflict resolution, criminal addictive thinking, you know, plans on getting ahead while getting out, and all these things. And then right when you're about to go, we have the justice system, some circuit court judges, and I'm not going to drop names because I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody, but they're partnering with us, wanting us to help the individual, because a lot of the people in detention facilities now are criminals because they're trying to fuel their addiction and they don't know how. So we meet them where they're at and we walk with them. And then when it's time for them to leave, we give them a cell phone with 30 days free activation. They have bus passes. We have case managers that help them with placement and finding a job. And I graduated this program back in 2021, and I'm still reaping the benefits of it because we created a connection. You
Right.
know, our ex fearless leader, Mama, she always says the opposite of addiction is connection. And the more connections we make, the more we're able to walk with people. And I think that's a lot of times, and I'm not throwing shade.
You're
This is just
able to
something I've
fill
seen.
somebody else's cup.
Right. Like I always say, I look in your cup to see if you have enough. You look in my cup to see if I have more. We are not the same. So
Right.
I'm steadily trying to fill into your cup. I'm trying to inspire. And a lot of times it's instead of, because this is what I hear a lot. What do you want? What do you want me to
Right.
give you? Instead of, I hear what you're saying. So my question is, what do you need? What can I
Absolutely.
do to assist you? Not support you, not fix it, but assist you. Even if it's just, okay, well, hey, I know somebody who's in the recovery field who's got 10 years clean and sober and he runs a landscaping business. Maybe I can talk to him about helping you get a job. You know,
Right.
it's and this is just me, I swear, and this is hurts so much, is that we have become a society that will point a finger faster than holding out a hand.
Absolutely.
And so I feel you, sis. I really do. And there's no
But in the state of
magic cure.
Vermont, we only have 2 rehab facilities in the state of Vermont. And unfortunately, both of them are only 14-day programs. Nobody is going to learn any tools in 14 days.
So let me get this
And then
right.
when you leave, you can ask my fiance, when you leave, they literally are paid to tell you, I hope to see you again. They're setting people up for failure.
Wow. Y'all gotta be kidding me.
No,
So my question is, and this is just me asking you because here in Arkansas, I guess we do things a little different. Why do you think that they've got it set up that way? And I just
because
want your personal opinion.
it's money. As long as people are relapsing and going back to the only 2 recovery places that we have, the more money they make.
I can see that. There's more money in the treatment than there ever will be in the cure.
Right. So their job is to set you up to fail. That's why they're only 2-week programs.
So they're expecting, that sounds more or less like detox.
Right.
Wow. I'm not throwing shade on nobody, but I'm talking about me and my lived experience. I have over 20, maybe 25 plus years or more of continuous addiction, like getting clean for a little bit,
Me too.
relapsing. So 2 weeks, I
Yeah.
slept longer than 2 weeks. Detoxing. So what are you going to teach me in 2 weeks? What are you going to assist me with? I can detox on my own.
Absolutely. I know how to get sober. I don't know how to stay sober.
Wow. So that's the struggle you're dealing with. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, if this platform reaches anybody, we've got to do something about that because
absolutely,
that's mind-boggling. But it also makes sense because, like I said, a lot of places don't have the means to assist people, and
right.
And this is just my opinion and what I've seen. It's better for them to attempt or make it look like they're trying to help when they're only given 35%. And
absolutely,
because addiction is a business. pharmaceutical companies is a business. This is just my opinion. I'm 50 years old. I've been paying attention to things since my stepdad used to make me read the newspaper every day. I
Yep.
don't just take anybody's word. This is just things I've seen, and I don't see it getting any better.
No, it's sad. And then even with this generation,
Better be careful,
like,
girl. You better be careful.
with this generation, there's babies having babies.
Yes, absolutely.
There's parents. There's more parents out there that I've seen that are trying to be their children's friend than their parent. Now, don't get me wrong, you can be both. You know, but you have to be with those boundaries.
I'm sorry, but my mother, Pat, and my mom is my goat. She is the greatest of all time when it comes to me. And I could just hear my mother saying right now, "Oh Lord, this boy done lost his mind. Son, we are not friends. I am the parent, you are the son." Now, I can sit there and agree that we're adults. Yes.
Right.
And
Huge
when I'm at my house, yes, I'll put my house hat on, and she's still my mother and she's my guest. But that's also still my mother. And I could never see my mother anything other than my mother, because I don't think we're equals in that aspect. I just don't. And maybe I'm weird like that, but I'm still old school.
Okay, so kind of the same concept, but not really. My mother and I don't talk. I have been through a lot of traumatic stuff because of her. But because of what happened to my children, I send my mother one text every single day. One text that says, "Good morning, Mama. I hope you have a great day. I love you." It's the only communication that we have. So that way there, I can say that if something were to happen to either one of us, I know that in my heart, I told her that I loved her.
Yeah. You know, and I'm just sometimes I tell people, everybody says, "Man, you're like E.F. Hutton. You have all these prolific things to say." And I tell people, boy, y'all are giving me way too much credit. I'm a firm believer that anytime I go to speak or do anything, I ask God to remove me from the equation, allow the Holy Spirit to speak through me, because trust me, I am not all that. But this is one thing that I've noticed. When a person walks in their purpose, the reason they're created, and they're doing things that they were created to do, the machinations of either the enemy or jinns or whatever people this generation want to call it, are designed to cause you to fail.
Right.
Because who wants you to win? Who? Because if you're not fighting the best fight you can for yourself,
you have to want it for yourself.
And that's, I tell people, like, how do I get they're like, how do I get my son to stop using drugs?
And if I can come across with my story to just one person, I feel like that's a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I have my relapse prevention group telling me that I need to stop putting my story on social media, my life story.
Why?
Because it could come back and bite me in the butt in the long run. If anybody Googles my name, okay, but this is my story. This is how I became the person I am today.
Look, so there's this thing in Arkansas called Court Connect. And you get on Court Connect in the state of Arkansas, and it will tell everything you've ever done. I'm talking about from the rooter to the tutor, from the beginning of the end. So if you want to Google me, hey,
right.
Ain't too many people got my name, so why? I think that a lot of times people say things, and it's not to discourage someone, it's their weak constitution to want to guard themselves from being in it. I tell people I'm transparent. What you see is what you get.
Absolutely.
I am right now is the same way I am in my job. When I leave my job and I go to my mom, I'm the same way.
And let me tell you this much. I have over 8,200 followers on my social media, and they are all amazing. Like, they show me so much support and love. It is unbelievable. Like, I have never had that kind of support before. They are all amazing. And the fact that if I'm having a hard day, or if, I'm struggling, I know that I can turn to those supporters and just, engaging with them makes me feel better.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time. So I'm like this. I'm like, you have to understand something, that as much as you want to help me, I would rather you be silent. Well, I would rather you be silent and accepting that I'm trying to change than try to put your 2 cents in on a conversation that costs $1.
Absolutely.
I'm learning that this life is mine to live. And I say this wholeheartedly. Because hold on, let me get a little closer, because I need people to see this. There is not a person walking this planet, never has, never will be, and currently right now there is not a person in existence that will ever be able to match me at me walking my recovery path.
Absolutely.
You're not built to live my life. So when it comes to your assistance, I'll listen, especially if you really care about me and you have something important to say. Trust me, these big old ears work real good in HD. But I'm the one who has to live this life. Ain't nobody gonna make me do anything.
Amen.
You're not. So this mindset I had to get to develop is one of, my belief is recovery is gaining the things once lost, while often sometimes gaining the things you never knew you had. My mom's been telling me that it was prophesied that I would minister and teach people since I was 6 years old. And I always had this gift of inspiring people with this. And when I started walking in my purpose, even when I first started my recovery, I started noticing, man, Brian's getting all bougie. Brian's starting to think he knows this, and Brian's starting to think he knows that. When it comes to I, me, and my, the choices I've made, the wrong turns I went down, I've got a PhD in Brianology. I got a PhD in Brianology. I got a master's in mistakes, a bachelor's in bad choices, and an associate in addiction. I know me. So when I can speak on my life, I want it to resonate. I want it to make that light bulb spark. And I'm learning that not everybody is worthy of my time, let alone built to walk this path with me. So,
I have said before, I know how to get clean. I don't know how to stay clean. The problems before is when I got clean, I still had so much baggage that I hadn't unpacked. So this time, with starting to tell my story, with letting out everything that's happened to me from the age I was born to, now, like, I'm now dreaming of stuff that I want to say was blocked, so it's the first 90 days is your brain trying to reprogram itself. And it's a little scary when you start having those dreams and when you start digging those boxes out. But the way that I look at it is, for one, absolutely nobody recovers the same way.
Absolutely.
What works for you may not work for me. So, for one, don't ever judge anybody on how they are recovering. For two, if you don't unbag that and unpack those boxes, that actually whatever turned you to the substance that you were using back when you started, you got to get to the root of the problem.
Oh yeah. Oh, it'll dog walk you if you let it. I see it constantly a lot, that I see a lot of people doing recovery for the wrong reasons. I need to go in treatment to get my daughter back.
So much faith in people that I truly believe that if someone like you and I, who have been in active addiction for over 25 years and have taken the walks down paths that we have and the trauma that we've endured, if we can do it, anybody can.
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest problems is they try to put you in this box. I mean, like, you got to get in this, like you got to use this pen for 2 weeks at this facility, and they limit recovery. They stifle information, because once again, it is so hard for an individual to say, I don't know, I can't help you, because they don't want to admit they don't know how.
One of the biggest struggles that I'm dealing with now of judgmental people is I am on the MAT program. I do get Subutex.
Okay.
But it's not only because I'm an addict. I have an incurable blood cancer. So I have to use it for pain management as well.
Yeah. Well, the program that I get to work for, and our former fearless leader, she is a GOAT when it comes to the recovery community. I used to hear a lot of people downplay MAT, like, why in the world would I substitute one drug for another?
Right.
And she would sit there and she would break it down, because she lost her son to addiction.
Yeah.
And she said that if I could have got him on this, it would have saved his life. Some people don't recover like I do. Like me, I just started going cold turkey, and then I started working on my trauma. I had people who God put in my path to take away the things like a bonsai tree that were killing me, while replanting things to make me better. I know one brother that has tried, and I mean, like, he has tried for years to get clean, and his body just wouldn't let him. He's been on the MAT program for like 2.5, 3 years now, and he has done magnificently.
Good for him. That's one of the reasons. So the first time I ever got sober was off of heroin. And I did it cold turkey. I did it with no MAT, no nothing.
I heard that stuff ain't no joke.
It was tough. And I remember every detox symptom that I went through. Mm-hmm. So when I ended up having to have surgery in 2013, and they cut me open and I had to heal from the inside out, they had me on some pretty strong pain medication. And the only thing I could think was, I don't ever want to go through that pain of withdrawal again. So we'll slowly transition into the MAT program. So that way there I don't, because I seriously thought I was dying.
Right. Huh.
It was terrible.
Well, I will say this. I am proud of you, sis. And I always say, you know, you grow through what you go through.
Absolutely.
And I'm a firm believer that there is always a divine purpose in things, whether we understand it or not. I know my pay grade. You know what I mean? I know my lane. I stay on my side of 8 Mile. I don't drive in Britain on the wrong side. So a lot of times when things appear farther away, I'm learning to just try to focus on what I can take care of right now.
Right.
So when those criminal addictive or those thoughts come in, I have to catch it, check it, and change it. I have to hold it accountable to another standard. And one of my biggest things is it's not always like I thrive on haters. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like old Mr. Cat Williams. If you ain't got nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me. Tell
Absolutely.
me that I'm messing up, but how am I?
And my haters are my motivators.
Yeah, and if I'm failing, by what measurement? Your standard? Because your standard of measurement is not mine.
Absolutely.
I'm happy. And when I hear things said to people who are early on in their recovery and their walk, and I have to remind them, remember, you are getting information from a limited aspect of someone who has no skin in the game. How is somebody going to sit there and tell you that it's easy to quit using drugs when they've never been in addiction?
Exactly.
How can you tell me that you got this miraculous cure when sometimes you can't even manage your own day? So my advice to you, sis, is one, small victories. Like, how many days are you sober today? 100 and what?
104.
104.
It's a whole different feeling when you get to them triple digits.
It really is. And guess what? Yesterday felt better than the day before.
Absolutely.
And some people have the willingness, but they don't have that drive. You know what I mean? Because it's faith. Faith without work is dead. So is your recovery. It requires you work. Whether you're working 12 steps, whether you have a sponsor, whether you're going to meetings, whether something is holding you to a higher level of standard, you have to be the one to live in it. I know my pathway of recovery. Like, you know, I'm a graduate of a faith-based program, and we do a lot of faith-based 12 steps. And so I've got mentors. You know, I've got a guy who follows a guy who follows another guy who follows Christ. So I know where I'm going.
Right.
These men are examples. And I always ask them, like, man, what do you do when it just feels like the world is against you? He said the world is always going to be against you, especially if you are a follower of your faith, because you are not of this world. So everything in this world is trying to attach itself to you, whether it's with money, addiction, lust, business, whatever. So I'm taking small little celebratory steps. Today, I am sober, not because I have to be,
because I want to be.
Choices. That's the one thing that people fail to realize, is that's what separates us from every other species on the planet, is we have the ability to make choice, not off survival or the have and have nots. It's because I can make the choice today to either go drink or stay sober. I can make the choice to go do drugs or stay in my recovery. some people don't realize the power they have in just being able to choose at this moment. This is not what I want to do.
There's an individual that I know uh, who is struggling very much with relapsing,
Mhm.
and he was making excuses. Oh, well, if I go to rehab, I'll lose my place to live. If I do go to rehab, I'll do this. And I told him, I stopped him right there. And I said, listen, those are all excuses. If you go to rehab, trust me, they will help you with transitioning housing. You don't have to worry about that. If you go to rehab, you will be a better version of you
Oh yeah,
coming out.
absolutely. And if you don't make it, at least you know you tried. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? It's like my wife has like a lot of friends that we all were in addiction with, and a lot of them are in recovery. And I have this adoptive niece that my sisters and I have been trying to help. And the excuse I got was, or that she got was, they're going to take my phone.
What?
I'm like Scooby Doo. I'm like, "Arr."
Yeah.
like, so you want your life to be better, but you're trying to set the stipulations on how you do it based off something you don't know how. Make that make
Right.
sense? Like you want to drive the car, but you don't know how to shift gears.
Right.
But you want me to let so I do understand the excuse, but a lot of times I just hope that people fail to learn to realize that addiction is more a physical, psychological thing. And
Absolutely.
recovery is not a place, it's how you live. Sobriety is the state you're in, recovery is how you do it daily. And just for today, I'm choosing to be sober to the best of my ability. No more, no less. And that's good enough for me because I have
Absolutely.
these tools right now to where if I'm having a bad day, I can just pick up this new age cellular device and I can just sit there and be like, hey, Barbara, can I talk to you for a minute? I'm going through some stuff and I want your insight on it. Or I could call my
Absolutely.
mentors and stuff like that. And the more we do that, the more we start building more connections to where if things start to go bad, we can just sit there and be like, okay, I can call this person. Because a sponsor isn't just there to hold you accountable. A
Right.
sponsor is there to also help guide you through some stuff that they've already been through.
Mm-hmm.
My position in the career that I chose right now is unethical for me to be a sponsor, or at least that's what I'm told. And that's okay. Because trust and believe, I know quite a few people I can do warm handoffs. And I can guarantee you the warm handoff I'm gonna do will never be somewhere in Vermont. Oh,
I don't know
true.
how many people I have told, you know, slips are slips.
Yeah.
Relapse is a part of recovery. I don't care what anybody says. Relapse is a part of recovery. It's all about how quickly you catch yourself
Oh,
from
oh.
going down that rabbit hole.
So we had a question in one of our classes the other day, and I want to pick your brain with this. All right.
Mhm.
So say for instance, you have a guy. He's been in sobriety 5 years. He's doing his 12 steps. He's talking his sponsor, and he smokes vape pens. And he went to the tobacco store and got his vape pen, but didn't know they gave him one that said that had THC in it. Because when he asked, he said, "Hey, there's no THC in this one, right?" And they assured him yes. So he looked at the box, didn't say THC or whatever, and they gave him one, and he was smoking on it, and that mental
Yeah.
buzz. So he called his probation officer, told him what happened, and thought that they gave him the wrong one. He went and failed his piss test. He instantly threw that thing away. He even had the receipt and everything. My question is, did he relapse?
No,
See? And that's where a
no,
lot of people confuse it because they think that I think relapse is an intentional return to use.
absolutely. I think a relapse is getting a case of the buckets. That's what I call it.
Okay. So then answer me this. With everything going on right now, how do you stay so grounded?
Oh, that's hard. It's very hard. Um,
I would imagine it is.
I put on a mask. I put on a brave face um, to kind of stay strong for other people. When in all reality, I'm the one crying in the corner, on fire, overwhelmed.
But answer me this: is that not normal?
That is normal.
I s- I don't know if my brain is wired differently, but it's like when it comes to human emotions, I think people really got a lot of stuff messed up. Like your three basic emotions: joy, sadness, mad. And when you ask people which one is the most destructive, people are going to say mad.
Mm.
You know, more people suffer from manic depression and have attempted suicide than getting into aggravated fights.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you tell people you shouldn't get mad. But I tell people like this: if I'm in the
Express
store,
yourself.
it's weird. Like I'll be in the store and it's me, babe, my better half, and the
Hmm.
kids, and somebody says something derogatory, like, you know,
Yeah, yeah. I know.
back in the day, I mean, like people would end up on milk cartons. But
Yeah,
it's like, you shouldn't get mad that he said that.
right.
And I'm
Uh,
like, hold up, let me make sure I'm getting this right. Anger is an emotional response based off an event plus my belief system and how it is. So I believe that you should never disrespect a man's wife in front of a man. And you just
Absolutely.
did that. So why wouldn't I get mad? Men aren't supposed to show their emotions. They're supposed to puff up their chest and push it all down. And in doing so, you're hindering a person from learning how to process feelings. Nobody gets mad when you're happy.
I had to do that for 25 years.
So why put on a mask now?
Um, I think my brain is still trying to rewire that emotion um concept to
Mhm,
where it's okay to feel emotion.
mhm.
Um, I'm always a people pleaser. That's one of my biggest ones. And I always take on not only my own stuff, but I seem to take on everybody's around me. Like that weight is on my shoulders. And
Mhm.
there's only so much that one person can take.
Yeah,
They say that you fill that pot and push it down until that pot overflows. And then who's the bad guy?
yeah, yeah. Well, you're my sister, and you know I love you, so I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, you ain't got to put no mask on for me. I accept you, flaws and all, because my scars sometimes match yours. So we can be twinsies.
Absolutely.
We can be people who are walking this journey alone because no man is an island amongst himself. So there's no reason you should have to put a mask on around the people who really care about you. 'Cause I've said it before, not everybody is worthy of your time. And some people aren't even meant to be in your life long. It's like Tyler Perry says, people are like a tree. Some people come in like leaves, they go with the wind, they're here for a second to serve a purpose, and they're gone.
They're
Then
gone.
you have some people who are like limbs and trunks, and you go to lean on them, and some people will try to support you until they can't carry your weight along with their own, and they'll give out from under you. But if you're blessed enough to have a couple of people who, short or not, is one of the best people you got, do not sit there and try to judge you based off your actions, but the context of your heart.
Absolutely.
That's who I want to be around. That's why I think you and I get along so well, is because I'm to a point right now. I'm 50 years old. I ain't fake it to make it my butt. I ain't got the energy.
If you can accept me for who I am,
Look, girl, I barely have enough energy to put my teeth in before I go to work. What you talking about? I ain't got time to put on no mask. What you talking about? But in doing so, I'm learning to be okay with just being me.
right?
It's okay. It's okay to sit there and say, you know what, today I'm just not feeling well. Just for today, I'm really not in the mood to deal with a lot of your nonsense. I'm not saying I don't care about you.
Right.
I don't have the mental, emotional energy to take on your stuff along with trying to carry mine. And if that harms or hurts how you feel, my apologies. But last time I checked, my personal recovery has to come first.
Absolutely. That's why I tell everybody that I have come across, it is fantastic. It is always amazing to have a sobriety buddy.
Oh yeah.
Somebody that is about the same, recovery date as you, that to go through it with. Because for one, for me it was a lot easier. It's a lot easier for me to go through it with somebody. For two, it's somebody that knows exactly what you're going through. So whether it's a sponsor, whether it's your partner, whether it's, somebody from a meeting.
Oh yeah. I fully understand. Like, I can say this, me and Babe, we share the same sobriety date, literally the exact same day. We got arrested the same day at the exact same time. We started our recovery journey. She was in the same program that I went through. She was just in the women's side. I was in the man's side. She went into specialty courts. I went into long-term treatment. But she supports my recovery, just like part of her specialty court was she was required to go to meetings. So I would go to her meetings with her. I am blessed to sit there and say that I don't have to live a life to where I have to be something that I'm not.
Right.
I don't have to be embarrassed, about the mistakes I've made. I mean, come on now. Who's our president?
Absolutely.
Everybody makes mistakes.
They were my mistakes to make. And obviously I was put on that path for a reason. But it made me who I am today. So I can't regret it.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to learn how to. People say I'm weird, but when I pray, I thank God for my bad choices. I thank God for my addiction and my recovery. I'm not sitting there saying I'm happy with every mistake that I've made, but I'm man enough to own them and thank God for allowing me to learn from them, move from them, and use them to build the new foundation, because, my higher power is my cornerstone.
Absolutely.
And every block of foundation that I have is some form of recovery, whether it's 12 steps, celebrate recovery in the Beatitudes. I have stones with mentors and guys that I follow and the people who are invested. And I have built this reality of recovery to where I'm actually proud of who I am, because I never thought this was going to be me. Come on,
Right.
You want me to work at a facility to where I have to listen to people's stories and I have to try to help people fix their life when I had trouble fixing my own? And I'm finding that it's not that I'm good at it. It's when I'm speaking, when I'm facilitating, when I am living in my purpose, there's times where people be like, Brian, what'd you say? I'll be like, that wasn't me. That was Holy Spirit. You know what I mean? And I'm finding that my recovery walk becomes a lot easier when I'm not having to be something I'm not meant to be. I was never meant to be an addict, but that was a choice I made that led me farther away from my higher power. And now that I'm back, I'm more accepting of that relationship because I know what going away from God did to me. Can't speak for nobody else. I'm talking about for me. In the moment,
I get that. I was mad at God for a long, long time.
Well, I mean, like, so now it's like when your desires become his desires, he will give you the content of your heart. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect in my recovery. I'm not saying I'm a guru at what I do, but I just know for me and my every day, I try my best to do everything I can to bring glory and honor to God by how people see him through me.
Amen.
And I walk in that, and it's not just in my recovery community, it's in my community in general. I got a new neighbor in the house. Well, when we moved into the new house, I finally got a chance to go meet the neighbor across the street. Amazing guy, has a son around my son's age. He's into martial arts just like I am. He's into anime just like I am. So I find myself, getting replicas of swords. And I was like, I saw one and I was like, man, he'd probably like this. And I handed it to him and we were talking for a second and he asked me a little bit about my story. And he was like, I never would have thought that about you. I said, I was like, oh, bro, trust me. I was a goon. Trust me, this mouthpiece has always been gifted. I can sit there and tell you the sky is purple, give you 3 credible facts to back it up. And not only would you believe it, you probably buy the beachfront property I had for sale on Mars. I'm a goat with this.
But I get that so much. And then I showed them my picture from what I was using.
Yeah. And it's just like, I told a brother that I did a podcast with, my brother Jimmy, and I told him. And he was like, man, does that make sense? I chase squirrels. And I was like, bro, when you are your true, authentic self, I swear that is when God speaks through you the most. This brother is wonderful. I've got so many people in my life just when they're okay with not being okay.
Right.
When they're okay with today is not the day, but just for this moment, I'm going to make the best of it as I can.
Right. And that's what I told somebody today. I was talking to somebody that was going through a really hard time. So I kind of told her my story. And I said, I don't know exactly what you're going through, but when the weight of the world is on your shoulders and everybody is expecting, you to be the glue, that's a lot to carry.
Yeah.
Be a better version of yourself and be who you are. If they don't like it,
I'm not putting up which finger I want to, but trust and believe.
Right.
You and everybody who look like you. But that's the whole thing. Like some people never really learned how. You know what I mean? Like for young men, and this is just my observation, most young men, it's not that they don't know how to be a man, because my mother did a wonderful job teaching me how to be a man to the best of her ability. But what it means to be a man is something that, because to me, a man is the individual created to serve God and the purpose in he was created. a firm believer that a man does not know who or what he wants in life until he finds the person God has created for him. And when they do, no matter the struggles or the situations, things start clicking. And I
Right.
tell people, I can tell when you're walking in your purpose. And they like, why? I said, because, bro, everybody and their mama trying to throw you off your game. Your car don't work. I remember that post. It just wouldn't. Like, I thought your car was possessed. I wish I could have did a Goku instant transmission and just pulled the battery apart.
It scared the hell out of me.
And I was watching because a lot of times I have this need to help, and I'm learning that, you know, I give a man a fish, I'll feed him for a day. I teach a
Right.
man how
You
to
feed
fish.
him the fish. You feed him
So
for the rest of his life.
I really wanted you to catch what was going on because I firmly believe you were being tested.
Oh yeah.
And watching you go through that, I was like, oh my God, please, sis, you got this. And I'm sitting over here like a Los Angeles, LA Lakers cheerleader going, you got this, you got this.
That's
And
why I said shit rolls downhill.
it does. But everybody's going to be tested. Everybody's going to have days. And I'm learning that the the more glorious the blessing, the harder the test because
Absolutely.
everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Everybody wants all these magnificent things in the world, but a lot of people aren't really willing to put the work in order to do it. So my question is, what are you willing to do in order to live the life that you desire or that you believe you deserve? That's what
That's a
I
that's a really tough one because I already have an incurable blood cancer. But I honestly think that I was put here to be an advocate, to be a voice. You know, my unfortunate traumas that have happened to me could be a learning experience
yeah,
for somebody else.
yeah. Well, I mean, like, and I'm not trying to throw shade or gaslight you or anything. I'm just, in some points, I'm a realist. I pray that you are blessed to continue living your life being an advocate, but your incurable disease is not who you are. It's just
Right.
something you're dealing with. And we have some people who didn't even make it to the end of the day. So everybody's life is meant to live for them. And I'm not here to try to tell you how you're supposed to live yours. I'm just blessed that God put you in my life to not only inspire me, but hopefully I can do the same for you because
Absolutely.
you have a gift, sis. Your humility, your compassion, your willingness. And there's gonna be times I'm gonna have to rein you in, be like, whoa, 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 no, we over here on this side of 8 Mile. Go ahead and let them do them and let them learn their lesson. And we gonna sit over here. I'm gonna be like this. Hey girl,
Let me see how they do
here, eat some popcorn. Let's watch
it.
this.
Right.
Because people gotta learn when you pray for rain, you gotta deal with the mud too.
Yes.
And what's the point of achieving all these great things if you don't know how to hold on to it? It's like you said, I know how to get sober, just don't know how to stay that way. And I
Sometimes
think,
it's not the point of holding on to it. Sometimes it's the point of giving it away.
yeah, yeah, I fully understand. I think that's how I'm able to do what I do is I give my recovery away all the time. What do you want to know?
Absolutely.
What do you want to know? How hard was it? I mean, here I am, 6 foot even, weighing about a buck 45 with wet clothes and 2 cement bricks in your pocket. You know you bad when you weigh less than Michael Jackson did. I know I was on there. I was sneaking and geeking, girl. But I can look at it now and I'm joyful because I get to share this life that I forfeited so many times.
Absolutely.
And I'm on borrowed time. I'm 50 years old. I'm not going to live forever. And I truthfully don't want to. But what I am living for is so that every day forward, I can live my life to the best of my ability, giving him the glory and honor in all I do, so that when my time comes, if 5 people who don't really thug with me, hang with me, work with me, if 5 people came up and say how gloriously blessed their life had become because of how I inspired them or motivated them, I will be okay, especially if it brings them closer to their higher power. Because all I'm waiting to hear is, well done, my good and faithful servant. And then I can take off all of this and y'all can have it. Because I'm going home. You know what I mean? But while I am here, I want to make every person, every situation, every interaction, every connection better than how I started it.
Absolutely.
I want my dash to mean something, not just here lies Brian, born 1975, died whenever, and just say father. Or I want my legacy to mean something, because truthfully, my tombstone is going to say recovery.
Right.
Mine's going to say sobriety. You know what I'm saying? Because that
recover.
The most, yes, absolutely.
I made it.
Yes. However long I was able to live this life, I'm okay with that. Despite the situations and circumstances that arise, I am still fighting tooth and nail to live this life to the best of my ability. Am I going to stay sober tomorrow? Oh no, tomorrow will never come. When 11:59 turns 12, it's still today. You will never see tomorrow. So I'm not worried about trying to fix my mind on all that stuff. I just know for me and Ma, I've been given this glorious gift, and I'm going to share it with everyone. That's how I walk in my recovery. That's how I inspire people. And hopefully I can inspire people to never go get treatment in Vermont.
Absolutely.
My mind is still soggy with that one. But it's good to see you smiling, sis. I know the struggle has been real. And you're one of the people that every night before I go to bed, I have this list of people. And I write their names in this book. And then I pray over this book like my mom taught me how. And trust me, there is so many things out in this world trying to get you to fail. But be of joy, because he has overcome them for you. You got this. And if you need somebody to thug it with you, you know what I mean? My hands are ready for everybody. Equal rights, equal lefts. I'm just saying, I got you.
Thank you.
But never let situations take away that smile. Take away that joy, because that is a gift that you were created to share with the world. And I'm just glad that I get to be a part of it. I am really proud of you, sis.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's going to work its way out, because like I said, all else fails, there's other states.
Yep. That's what we're planning to do in January.
There's other states.
Yep.
I mean, like I'm not saying it got to be Arkansas, Texas, Florida.
Arkansas sounds good to me.
Like it's like we have this platform as people with lived experience working alongside treatment facilities, detention and incarceration facilities, hospitals, and I can honestly see change, because, why in the world do I want to talk to a therapist about dope dreams when you never had one?
Right. They've never experienced it.
But when you got somebody there with them explaining to them what it is and how that feels and what worked for you, then that can change. But,
absolutely.
It'll work itself out. I thank you, sis. I think we rambled for like about an hour, and I ain't really mad about it, man. It's just good to be able to just talk.
I truly appreciate you.
No, absolutely. Because trust and believe. like the way I'm trying to do it, my brother has his podcast and he has like 2 or 3 guys that he has on there every time he gets on.
Yeah,
And and hold on. So
like co-hosts.
yes, yes, yes. So bruh got the business cards.
Yes.
I got a hat being made with the Broken Chains logo on it.
Yes.
I've got my brother and sister making me this bullet cup that has the broken chains, and then I'm gonna have my hoodie with broken chains on the back and my LLC on the front.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna do
You're
good things.
moving mountains.
Well, so here's the thing. Someone once said, Brian, you don't have enough followers. And I'm cool with the followers. I just want my words to be viewed more. I'm not worried about followers. I'm worried about views.
Right.
I did one the other day and it got like 500 and I was super happy. And then the
Right.
other day there was only 100. But that one that I did that had 100 had like so many different replies. I like connecting and talking and all this other stuff with people because here pretty soon I'm gonna have it to where I'm gonna just be like, it's gonna probably be me, you, and hopefully my homeboy Zach Han, and we just gonna be talking, and I'm just gonna let people come up on here, and we just gonna
Absolutely.
talk shop.
Like do a Q&A and
Yeah. And I'm gonna put the what's name out there, and I'm be like, hey, this is the link. Come on if you want to, and we can just sit and talk. Because the more people can sit here and talk like we just did today,
I think that would be amazing. And I think it would be nice to hear, some of the viewers who watch hear it from their perspective or what they're going through.
So let's do it. So how
All right.
about I'm gonna look at my schedule next week, and more than likely, hopefully, if it's a Tuesday or Thursday, you and I'll get on here, and I'll put the link on mine. You put the link on yours, and we'll just sit here and say, "Hey, let's talk recovery." You know what I mean? What's your
Absolutely.
story? And just see where it goes.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that's an amazing idea.
Okay. Thank you, sis. I pray blessings and miracles over your walk. I pray that you are strengthened daily. And I pray that no matter what happens, you know that there is a purpose in you. And I pray that you continue to just walk. I am so happy that God has put you in my life because you strengthened my walk, sis. I'm very
Thank
proud
you.
of you. You are an
I'm
amazing
so
individual.
grateful to have you in my life. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, sounds good. All right. So, till next time, till we eat again, sister, I will talk to you later. Everybody, y'all have a blessed day. And remember, man, stay faithful,
I love you all.
stay driven, stay hopeful, but most of all, stay unchained, man. Y'all have a great evening.